two main characters were not drifters seeking out adventure and romance, but instead a marshal and his deputy trying to keep the peace in Laramie. I witnessed the construction of Laramie's main street on the Warner Brothers backlot and watched the father-son relationship between John's marshal, Dan Troop, and Peter's deputy, Johnny McKay, develop into a solid friendship. I never did a Lawman episode, but Peter did two Sugarfoot shows, The Hideout and The Trail of the Canary Kid, and John was in Ring of Sand. The three of us saddled up to ride together in the Maverick crossover episode, Hadley's Hunters. Although the studio kept us busy working nonstop on episodes and personal appearances, I had lots of opportunities to spend quality time with John and Peter. A note about Warner Brothers and the way we were treated. You may recall that Cheyenne's Clint Walker, Maverick's Jim Garner, 77 Sunset Strip's Ed Burns, and Colt 45's Wade Preston each had serious contract differences with the studio. Let me put it this way. The worst gang in the Old West wasn't the James Gang, the Dalton brothers, or the Youngers. The toughest gang was the Warner Brothers. They rode us hard and put us away wet. On weekdays, they worked us relentlessly from dawn to dark. On weekends, they'd send us out on public appearances and rodeos for which they were paid handsomely and we were paid ugly. Over the years, I've met a lot of folks who have good memories of Lawman, and now with its availability on cable and DVD, the series has attracted many new fans. This book was written for them and anyone who likes the Old West. It not only provides readers with all the information they would want to know about the show, but it also explores the reasons for its popularity. My favorite part of the book is when Bill Levy describes the joy of watching Lawman and recognizing familiar faces like veteran film stars Robert Armstrong, Tom Drake, and Wayne Morris in featured roles, and such former Western heroes as Bob Steele, Alan Lane, Jack Butel, and Kermit Maynard in bits. The entire book illustrates Bill's passion for those thrilling days of yesteryear. So, buckaroos, enjoy riding down memory lane with Marshal Dan Troop, Deputy Johnny McKay, and the lovely Lily. Preface by Boyd Majors, author of A Gathering of Guns, 50 Years of the TV Western, and Western Clippings. John Russell, Marshal Dan Troop. Peter Brown, Deputy Johnny McKay. The television team that maintained law and order in ABC and Warner Brothers, Laramie, Wyoming, on Sunday nights for 4 years and 156 episodes. When it all began, Russell sat down with Peter Brown and said, "Look, we got ourselves a series. I think between us we can make it the best TV series in the country." And to my way of thinking, they did make it the best half-hour TV Western. Now, thanks to Bill Levy, you will be able to relive all those terrific episodes as well as gain an insight into the lives of John Russell, Peter Brown, and lest we not overlook Peggie Castle, who added sex appeal to the series. So once again, let's ride back to 1958, where TV Western evil violently flowed as we send for the badge and the gun of the Lawman. In the first edition of Richard West's book, Television Westerns, Major and Minor Series, 1946 to 1978, West concludes his introduction with this short paragraph. To those of us who grew up in that far simpler time before Vietnam, before Nixon and Watergate, before disco and punk rock, before those awful music videos and home computers, this book is dedicated. And almost certainly to Matt, Davy, Major Adams, Brett, Bart, and all the others who made those days such a pleasant time in which to spend our youth. When I was a teenager growing up on Long Island, New York, during the late 1950s,